name's Denise Eddy. I'm the Lab Services Manager and Clinical Informaticist for Mercy Medical Center. I've worked here for 34 years, and I live in the community, and my husband's a farmer. After I graduated from college, I had some different opportunities to work other places, but really when I came home, it was kind of a coincidence. I came home and someone told me that they were looking for someone in the lab at Centerville, and so I thought, well, it wasn't really what I had planned, but maybe I'd try that out. So I was hired that day, started, and then since then I married a farmer, and that pretty much cements your place in the community, so that's why I've remained. I remember early on in my career, I was working, it was a weekend, working in the ER, and a patient came in, her husband had brought her in, they were both young people, and she had had a miscarriage, and she was having some issues after that, and her situation became very, very dire, and I felt like I was part of the team. We worked together. It was neat. She had a good outcome, but what really cemented it with me was afterwards her husband came up to each one of us and thanked us and said, "Thank you for saving my wife's life." I mean, and that was a moment that I have carried all of these years, because I did something for someone and I changed their life, helped change their life, I should say, because sometimes we don't get those kind of outcomes, but it makes you feel important, and it makes you feel part of the family when you work together like that. When you work in a hospital, sometimes not every situation is as easy for you as a person or professionally. I had an experience once, a person that I knew very well, her children were the same age as my children, and she had just received devastating news. And I happened to be the first person she saw after she got that news. We hugged, we cried together. Eventually, we got down to the business she was here for. She had to have some testing done, and we got that taken care of. But right then, I knew that the care of her life, the care of her family, that was in our hands. And we took care of her until she was not able to be at home. And it's just something that when that moment happens to you, and the patient has given us a gift because they have put their trust in us. And that's what Mercy does, and that's what we do here. We take care of all aspects. And I've had that even in my own personal experience. We don't just care for the patient, we care for their families, because it affects a lot of people when one person's ill or has an accident. So being part of Mercy means that you take care of the whole family. I think the part that I like about working for Mercy most is, in some places you're not allowed to bring your faith to the forefront, you're not allowed to talk about your religion, and here we're not only allowed, we're asked to show our faith every day, and it's a way for us to be able to be ourselves when we're at work. To hold a patient's hand and tell them that you're thinking about them and that you're going to include them in your prayers is, I think, helpful to the patient. It helps me sometimes to deal with the things that I see. When you feel so helpless because you know you can't do anything to help this patient, you can still pray for them. And I like that we're not only allowed, we're encouraged, and in some ways I think we're expected to keep our faith to the forefront when we come to work every day. I like that.